Hari Jaya Koti Jana Vallabha Jaya Yashodanandan Janaranjana Yashodananjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamna Tira Vanachari Yamna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी। श्री श्री राधा माधव जी की जय, श्री श्री कुंज बिहारी जी की जय, श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय, श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर विशाखा देवी जी की जय, श्री श्री गौर नित्याय जी की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, शिला गुरुदेव की जय, नित्याय गौ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी माता जी। Welcome to today's session of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are going to read from Canto 11, Chapter 3, verse number 45. Wonderful discussion going on between Navayogendras and Maharaj Nimi. Wonderful questions being asked and wonderful replies being given by these sages. Actually, these questions are not for Maharaj Nimi, they are for us. One by one question, if you see, they are applicable for us, and answer what has been given, we need to follow and imbibe in our life so that we can get the taste of devotional service, which is the ultimate goal. Before entering the page of Srimad Bhagavatam, I seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas present, Srila Prabhupada, Acharyas, and all Guru Parampara. Will chant Srimad Mangalacharan. When we start Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnantimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurnamilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swamarupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. हम श्री गुरो श्रीयुतपद कमलम श्री गुरुन वैष्णवांश्च श्री रूपम साग्र जातम सगण रघुनाथन्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादां च सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभान सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्या नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्टकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरे परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। योऽन्ता प्रविश्य मम वाचि मां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्यां तहस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नाम्ने। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. So we are going to read Canto 11, Chapter 3, verse number 45. नाचरेत यः तु वेद उक्तम वेदास अज्ञः स्वयं अज्ञः अजितेन्द्रियः विकर्मणः हि अधर्मेण मृत्युः मृत्युम उपैति सः नाचरेद्यस्तु वेदोक्तम् स्वयं अज्ञो जितेन्द्रियः विकर्मणा हि धर्मेण मृत्योर्मृत्युम् उपैति सः नाचरेद्यस्तु वेदोक्तम् स्वयं यज्ञो मजितेन्द्रियः विकर्मणा हि धर्मेण मृत्योर्मृत्युम् उपैति सः नाचरेद्यस्तु वेदोक्तम् स्वयं अज्ञो जितेन्द्रियः विकर्मणा हि धर्मेण मृत्योर्मृत्युम् उपैति सः। Please repeat. नाचरेद्यस्तु वेदोक्तम् स्वयं अज्ञो जितेन्द्रियः कर्मणा हि अधर्मेण मृत्योर्मृत्युम् उपैति सः नाचरेद्यस्तु वेदोक्तम् स्वयं अज्ञो जितेन्द्रियः विकर्मणा हि अधर्मेण मृत्योर्मृत्युम् उपैति सः नाचरेद्यस्तु वेदोक्तम् स्वयं अज्ञो जितेन्द्रियः विकर्मणा हि धर्मेण मृत्योर्मृत्युम् उपैति सः नाचरेद्यस्तु वेदोक्तम् स्वयं अज्ञो जितेन्द्रियः विकर्मणा हि अधर्मेण मृत्योर्मृत्युम् उपैति सः। हरे कृष्णा। Word to word meaning, translation purport by disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki na acharet does not perform. Yaha who tu but ved uktam what is prescribed in the Vedas. Swayam himself. Agyaha ignorant. Ajit indriyaha not having learn to control his senses. Vikarmanaha by not executing scriptural duties. He indeed adharmena by his irreligion. mratyoho mratyum, death after death. Upayati, achieves. Saha, he. Translation: if an ignorant person who has not conquered the material senses and does not adhere to the Vedic injunctions, certainly he will engage in sinful and irreligious activities. Thus, his reward will be repeated birth and death. Please repeat. If an ignorant person who has not conquered the material senses does not adhere to the Vedic injunctions, certainly he will engage in sinful and irreligious activities. Thus, his reward will be repeated birth and death. Purport: in the previous verse, it was stated that although fruitive activities are prescribed in Vedas, the actual goal of human life is to free oneself from all materialistic activities. Therefore, one may conclude that there is no need to perform the Vedic rituals, which offer regulated sense gratification, but an ignorant person, or in the other words, one who has not understood that he is not the material body, but an eternal spiritual soul, part and parcel of Krishna, will invariably be unable to control the urges of material senses. Therefore, if such a materially inclined person neglects the Vedic injunctions that administer regulated sense gratification, he will surely fall down into the unregulated sense gratification in papa or sinful life. For example, those who are affected by sexual desire are ordered to accept the Vivaha Yajna or religious marriage ceremony. We often see that because of false pride, a so-called brahmachari or celibate student of Vedic knowledge rejects the marriage ceremony as Maya or material illusion. But if such a celibate student is unable to control his senses, he will be undoubtedly degrade himself by eventually engaging in illicit sex, which has no connection to the Vedic culture. Similarly, a neophyte in Krishna consciousness is encouraged to eat Krishna prasadam to his full satisfaction. Sometimes an immature practitioner of bhakti yoga tries to make a show of severe eating habits and eventually falls down into the eating unregulated and abominable food stuff. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakti Thakur Maharaj, the words mratyor mratyum upayati mean that a sinful person is awarded a free ticket to hell by the Lord of Death himself. Free ticket, huh? Free ticket to hell. Yamraj, this is also described in the Vedas as follows: Mratva punarmratyam upayate ardayanmanaha swakarmanabihi. Person who cause themselves severe pain by their materialistic activities gain no relief at the moment of death, for they are placed again in the situation in which death will occur. Therefore, Vedic ritualistic activities such as the wedding ceremony or releasing the sumptuous yagasista or food remnants of a sacrifice should not be given up by those whose senses are not yet controlled. The previous verse gave example of a father administering a candy to his son to induce the child to take medicine. If the child rejects the father's offer, thinking the candy is unnecessary, the child also misses the opportunity to take the medicine that will cure him. Punch point. Similarly, if a materialistic person rejects the Vedic injunction that administer prescribed sense gratification, he will not be purified, but instead will be further degraded. Srila Jiva Goswami has described a materialistic person as one whose mind and intelligence are not faithfully fixed in the message of Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Bhagavan, Lord Krishna, gives a wonderful explanation to the conditioned souls, represented by Arjuna, concerning the actual goal of life. One who cannot fix his mind on these instructions is to be considered a materialistic person who is inclined towards sinful activities and who must therefore submit himself to the standard Vedic injunctions. Such Vedic injunctions, even though fruitive, are considered punya or pious. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, thus one who strictly performs them will not go to hell. Krishna himself stated in Bhagavatam 10:11-29, Tavat karmani krutva na nirvedya yavata mat katha sravanaya dhuva shraddha yavan ajayate. One should continue to perform the Vedic ritualistic activities until one actually becomes detached from material sense gratification and develop faith for hearing and chanting about me. Srila Vishwanath Thakur explains that Vedas prescribe that one rise early in the morning, bathe, and chant the Gayatri Mantra. If one artificially gives up such a disciplined, regulated life, one will gradually become a victim of activities for gross sense gratification, such as eating in restaurant and indulging in illicit connections with the woman. Thus, losing control of his senses, he becomes just like an animal, engaging from the early morning until the night in dangerous activities. Sri Madhvacharya has commented in this regard, Agyaha isna archanam api. Although in ignorance, one continues to act, not considering the future result of one's activities. Such indifference to the future result of one's activities is described in Bhagavad Gita as to be a symptom of the mode of ignorance. Just as an intelligent man will not drive his car on a highway if he knows the highway will lead him into danger. An intelligent man will not perform non-Vedic activities if he knows that ultimate result will be the disaster described here in the words of Mrityor Mrityum Upeti. Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur has stated that ignorant person sometimes think that after death one automatically attains everlasting peace. But by the powerful reactions of one's sinful activities, one comes to a most unpeaceful condition. For one must suffer hellish miseries in exchange for the meager temporary fruits of material work. Such hellish reactions occur not once but perpetually, as long as one is in deference to the Vedic injunctions. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So this verse, if you see, states clearly the condition of ignorant persons who are clearly not following the Vedic injunctions. And ultimate result is Mrityor Mrityum Upeti Saha. They are repeatedly thrown into the repeated cycle of birth and death. In this chapter, if you see, first question asked by Nimi Maharaj was about the illusory energy. And Sri Antriksh answered that question in 3rd verse to 16th verse. And then again Nimi Maharaj asked that for a foolish person, like he say himself, like me, but of course he is a very elevated soul, like for us, how to come over this illusory energy, how to cross over this illusory energy. And then Prabhu answers from 18 to 33. And the next question is being asked, the transcendental situation of Lord Narayana. And that is answered by Piplayan. and that is from verse number 35 to 40. Then what we are seeing, the question being asked King Nimi about this subject which is going on right now. And this is about the process of karma yoga. So, which is applicable for each and every living entity. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 3.5, Nahi kachit chadamapi jatu tistati kareti vasa karma sarva pakirtir jargunaihi. Not for a moment we can be without doing any action. Always. We are part and parcel of Krishna, and he is super active, supremely active. So of course we need to be active. Srila Prabhupada mentioned many times those Mayavadis, they want to go and merge in the Brahman effulgence. So what is the result, end result in the Brahman effulgence? There is no activity. If you want to give a punishment, severe punishment to someone, just lock him in the room, no activity, stay there, everything is given to you, enjoy your time. He can never enjoy. After few time, he will knock, please take me out. This is worse than hell. Activity is a must. Nahi kastit chadamapi, not even for a moment. So, we have to be active, of course, but what activities we are doing, this is important. Shastras, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, fruitive activities, of course, they are not welcomed. Sukdev Goswami says in the second canto, Akamo sarva kamo va moksha kama udhare tivrena bhakti yogena jete purusa param. In every situation, you are calm or niskam, you must do tivrena bhakti yogena jeta purusam. Bhakti yoga. But these foolish people, the first thing in our verse today is coming ignorant. Who are these ignorant persons? What is their quality? And how do we identify these ignorant persons? Ignorant persons are those, the first foremost symptom is they are always puffed up. Whatever the possessions they have, they think nobody is better than me, better this knowledge. Even their worship, even their tapas, whatever you say, if they are proud, they are supposed to be called ignorant persons. And they reject Krishna. They don't accept Krishna. Avjananti ma mudha manusintam asandam bhajante param bhama jananto mama bhuta maheswaram. 9.11 of Bhagavad Gita. These mudhas, they simply do not know me as he is. And they deny him. In day-to-day life, we see many examples where people go to all demigods, and Krishna says, Yante avidhi purvakam, 9.23 of Bhagavad Gita, he says, Yante avidhi purvakam. Those who go to demigods and they do not come to Krishna, indirectly they are doing Krishna's service only, but indirectly, avidhi purvakam. So such person, they will not recognize Krishna, they will simply, okay, I will go to this, they will wander here and there, they will go to. That's why they say, Avjananti Mamuda. And next symptom, Krishna tells in 17th chapter, when he is describing the faith, in 19th verse, Mood grahanamano atmano yat pidaya kriyate tapaha parasyotunartham va tattamsam udharatam. Person, the penance, what they perform lot of penances. But they perform the penances out of foolishness. Srila Prabhupada taught us, what is the penance Srila Prabhupada taught us? Get up early in the morning, 2:30, 3 o'clock. attend the morning program starting from the Mangal Āratī. Then after Srimad Bhagavatam class, you do the service in the temple, whatever seva has been awarded to you. Where is the time to think of sense gratification? If you follow this schedule very meticulously, and you keep on thinking, oh, next is this activity, I have to perform Krishna. If you fully engage in the Krishna consciousness this way, there is no time left for the thinking of sense enjoyment. But what these people do? Out of foolishness, they will torture themselves. Pidaya. How will they torture themselves? They will torture themselves because ultimately we ourselves, soul, not this body. What body, soul wants? Suprasidati. To be happy. And when it can be happy? When you serve Krishna. So, they don't want to serve Krishna and they want to be happy. So that is basically torturing themselves. And they destroy themselves as well as injures others also. How do they injure others? What they do? They preach this ignorance to others as well. I am doing this yajna for elevating myself to the heavenly planets. We will enjoy there. Earthly planet enjoyment is not enough. We will go to heavenly planets. But what happens there? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 9.19-20. What is saying there? Somapaha putpapa jagrasti prarthayante te punnyamasad surendra lokam asnanti divyan divideva bhogan te tam bhuktva mrityu lokam vishanti te tam bhuktva mrityu lokam vishanti evam tri dharmam anuprapanna gatam kam kama lavante. Those who are following these Vedic rituals given in the Karam Kanda, we saw in the 44th verse detail that Prabhu took, that Chakravarti Prabhu. Because of this Karam Kanda, they were so much inclined to these activities and they want to go to heaven. But what happens ultimately? Chhine punne mrityu lokam visanti. They are again thrown back to the mrityu loka. That's why mrityor mrityam upayati. Again repeated birth and death. Somebody may question, but what is the wrong having repeated birth and death? So, out of our perpetual miseries, we have birth, death, old age and disease. This is with all living entities in every situation, this is going on. So, what is happening? At the time of birth, you feel pain. At the time of death, you feel pain. How much pain? If one scorpion, 30,000 scorpions bites you at a time, that much pain is there as per the Shastras. You want to go through that pain? Welcome, no problem. So, ignorant person, basically, if you do the analysis of who is the ignorant person, he identifies himself with the body first. Body identification. I am this body. And Srila Prabhupada told us, I am not this body. The ignorant person thinks, I am this body. He is blind also. How is he blind? He accepts the traditions and mental gases, mental concoction without any higher spiritual result. He simply keeps on following that. So he is spiritually blind. And next step for his sensual enjoyment, he does that. When he is chasing these temporary pleasures in the material world without any inner peace, none of the sensual pleasure can give you peace, Prabhuji Mataji. Never. And Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita, what did he say? Bhoktaram yagdapsam sarlok mahesram Surdar Sarvbhutanam Gyatma Mam Santim Prijjati. No living entity in this whole creation can enjoy the material world. This prerogative is for Krishna. I am the prerogative. Just take simple example. You like any sweet. 1 piece is good, 2 piece is very good. When 4 piece comes, Baba, stop. What are you doing? You want to kill me? And then slowly another 4 pieces come, surely you are going to fall sick. Same thing which was giving you initially little pleasure, ultimately it is giving you pain. And that is mode of passion. See the quality which Krishna described in Bhagavad Gita. Initially it looks like nectar. In the end it is like a poison. So such persons really, what they do, ignorant persons, they harm themselves, they harm others, and they perpetually are thrown into the repeated birth and death cycle. Kapil Bhagwan spoke to Mata Devhuti in 29th chapter, verse number 24, 329-24. What is saying? My dear mother, even a devotee, so-called devotee, he worships with proper rituals and full paraphernalia. A person who is ignorant of my presence in all living entities never pleases me. Very serious subject. You may be doing all your worship, rituals, everything with full paraphernalia, completely following everything. But if you ignore the living entities and the Krishna present along with those living entities, Kapil Bhagwan is saying, he never pleases me. So such ignorant persons, what they do? They never adhere to the Vedic injunctions. So next we have 4 topics to discuss. So next topic would be Vedic injunctions. They do not follow. In Srimad Bhagavatam, in introduction itself, Srila Prabhupada gave very nice statement. Let us read that statement. Pure devotion service must be freed from all desires for sense gratification. If you are engaged in devotional service, you must be free from all sense gratification. Fruitive aspirations and culture of monastic knowledge. All 3 aspects. Sense gratification, fruitive aspirations, even aspirations. You may not be doing action. If you have aspiration, that is not considered good for the pure devotion service. And then monastic knowledge. One must be freed from all kind of designations also. Very heavy. One must be freed from all kind of designations. Now you will question, I have been given a designation, XYZ. What do I do with that designation? We may be awarded any post, any designation. Don't attach yourself to that designation. If we are in that mood, we are following 5.10 of Bhagavad Gita. What does it say? Brahmani yadhaya karmani sangam taktarkotya lippate sene papene padma pantram imam bhasa. Arjun, like a lotus flower, is coming out of the mud pond, but never touches the pond. Even the water, if you pour water on the lotus flower, not a drop will stick to the lotus flower. You may be given a position of President of USA, maybe Indra, maybe Brahma. You should never be proud. Forget proud. You should not be considering yourself in that position. The mercy of Krishna, to perform a duty, you are there. Mentality should be like of a bank teller. You go to a bank, give your check or slip and withdraw money, or you deposit money. The fellow, since morning to evening, through his hands, millions of dollars may be getting exchanged. but he is not attached to that. He cannot be attached to that. If we have that activity, we may be in the midst of all kind of activities, material activities, but they will not affect us. That is for sure. And further Prabhupada says that as long as there is a desire to enjoy sensually or to become one with the Supreme or to possess the mystic powers, there is no question of attaining the stage of pure devotional service. Srila Prabhupada went with 40 rupees. By Krishna's arrangement, had unlimited wealth, completely unattached. Completely unattached. And that is the symptom of pure devotional service. You may be in any dress, you may be some white dress or saffron dress. Don't get attached to that. Even if you think, oh, I am a sannyasi, that itself is not approved by the Shastras. In first canto, second chapter, 10th verse, all our activities, how they should be directed. Kamasya nendra priti yavo liveta jiveta yavata jivasya tapta jigyasa nartho yasche karma bihi. All our activities should never be directed toward the sense gratification. Never be directed. Whatever role Krishna has given us, that role is not for sense gratification in any way. One must desire only a healthy life. And why healthy life? If you have a healthy life, you can service nicely Krishna. Or self-preservation. Since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth, nothing else should be the goal of one's work. So whatever occupation, duties we have, nothing else should be our goal. And Srila Prabhupada wrote very nice purport in this. I'll read few lines. Completely bewildered material civilization is wrongly directed towards the fulfillment of desires in sense gratification. In such civilization, in all spheres of life, the ultimate end is sense gratification. That is a fact. The modern civilization which is there, it is not pushing, it is throwing us into the whirlpool of sense gratification. Day to day new gadgets are coming, day to day new avenues are there, and children are so much, they are consumed basically by this all development. See, we may have position, we may have knowledge, and we have very nice examples in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Mata Saraswati sitting on the tongue. Who is that person? Kesav Kashmiri. How much proud is there? If you see the pastime in Adi Leela chapter 16, and detail is given in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. Kesav Kashmiri used to go and challenge all those who consider themselves to be knowledgeable, and after defeating them, he used to take away all their wealth and make them his servant. So just imagine what is the goal of this knowledge. He has got the favor of Mata Saraswati. She is on his tongue. So much worship Mata Saraswati. What is the end goal? He is making suffering others. Like we saw, they suffer themselves and they make others also to suffer. And finally what happened? Then he met Mahaprabhu, Nimai, on the Ganges. He proudly told, I am told you are Nimai Pandit and you are supposed to be a scholar. Let's have some discussion. Mahaprabhu folded hand. I am nobody. Please, if you want, we can have. 100 verses in 1 hour he framed. 100 verses. Shlokas like anything in 1 hour he framed, composed and recited. Mahaprabhu said, I have a doubt in one verse. He was astonished. This boy, I told in a great speed, all these 100, how did he remember one verse? Which verse you want? Okay, I want the 64th verse. And we know the pastime, how he was defeated. He realized when to place he was staying. Again, requested Mata Saraswati, she came. With whom you are showing your ignorance? That is the ignorance actually. That is the ignorance. If we are proud of our education, our beauty, our wealth, our family lineage, anything, that doesn't help devotion service. In 5th canto, Lord Hanuman, he speaks very nicely. He says the basis of friendship with Lord Ram is neither your beauty, your knowledge, your lineage, your bodily strength, nothing. The basis is only your surrender and His mercy. These two things. So these persons who are so ignorant, they are compared like demons by Krishna. In 16th chapter, when Krishna speaks demonic and divine qualities, he compares that. In 11 to 12 verses, he says, Chintam aparayam cha pralintam uparsitaha kamo bhog parma eta vadeti nischitaha asa pa sater baddha. Asa pa sater baddha. Hundreds and hundreds of desire, they are bound by those desires. And what those desires are doing? They believe to gratify the senses is the prime necessity of human civilization. So those persons, the bodily outfit could be anything, varna could be anything, sannyasi, vanprasthi, brahmacharya, grasti, or brahmana, kshatriya, whatever it is, all the varnas of dharma. But if they are not following the 1.2.10, their activity is not directed towards the achieving the devotional service of the Krishna, they are compared here. What they are doing? Gratify the senses in the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, until their life, their anxiety is immeasurable. So they are always in anxiety, such persons. Always in anxiety. Bound by the network of hundreds and thousands of desires, asa pa satar baddha, and absorbed in the lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means to satisfy their desires. And then further, from 13th to 15th, even more is given. What is given? That such persons, they perform big sacrifices. And we see nowadays, many persons, they are doing so many sacrifices. And what do they want? Their name should be on the top of the board, done by so and so person. Sometimes you can see, Bhagavad Yajna is going on, the Yajman name will be above Krishna, something like that. And every day name will be announced. Such persons are after the name and fame. If you are looking for name and fame, you are good for this material world, perpetual stay, perpetual license you will get to stay in the material world. Name and fame. He says, I shall perform sacrifice, I shall give charity, and thus I shall rejoice. Such persons are deluded by ignorance, completely under the ignorance. Although Vedic injunctions are met there, but such people ignore the Vedic injunctions. Even our Srila Narad Muni told the same thing to Srila Vyasadeva. If you see the first canto, 5th chapter, Vyasadeva is sitting on the banks of Saraswati river, just thinking, I have performed all my duties. One Veda, I read 4 Vedas, Mahabharata, wrote Puranas, everything I wrote. He's still insatisfied in his heart. There is no peace. After doing this all voluminous work, there is no peace. Just imagine our situation. We do little bit and we are like this, puffed up. So what Narada Muni tells? He is telling, Bhavatanu priyam yaso bhagavato amalam yena vasana tushyeta manneta darsanam khilam. 158. Narada Muni is saying, you have not actually broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of personality of Godhead. You have not broadcast the glories, which kind of glory? Sublime and spotless glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The philosophy which does not satisfy the transcendental senses of the Lord is considered worthless. There is not much time. You read verse number 1.5.10 and 11. Nyavajater Hare Yaso. The composing of the best literature is considered as what? Tirtham Usanti Vayasa. Vayasa is getting crow. The pilgrimage of crows. Where do they assemble the pilgrimage? The crows? Where filth is there, dirt is there. That voice is considered like that. But 11 says, Granti Sadhavaha. If that is composed even incorrectly, immaturely, impurely, but that is broadcasting the sublime and spotless glory of the Supreme Personality Godhead, that is accepted by the sadhavas. Hansa, Paramhansas. So, Vedic injunctions are there, and he clearly tells to Srila Vyasadeva, in the purport Srila Prabhupada write, on the basis of regulative performance of fruitive activities as depicted in Mahabharata and other literature is condemned here with Narad Dev. Why? Because following these following this fruitive activities given in the Karam Kanda part, they easily, very conveniently forget the injunctions. And that's what happens. Like we saw that day, the 44th verse. I will take Rasgulla, but I will not take medicine. The child did that way. That was seed I threw away. Prabhu told that nice example. They will take only the fruitive activities. I want to go to heaven. I want to enjoy that. Srimad Bhagavatam gives very nice example. Whose example? King Prachirpari. He was following all instructions given in the Vedas and he started performing yajna. His son Prachetas, all 10 sons, they followed very nicely the order of father. Father said, please marry and help me increasing the progeny. They said, Yes, of course we will do. But we will do first tapas. Tapas is very important. They went for 10,000 years of tapasya. And Lord Shiva gave them the mantra, stotra. King Prachitbari started performing sacrifices. And he was given Prachitbari name because he did so many sacrifices. The Kusagras Asan which was there, which is on the eastern direction, whole earth was filled with that. That means so many animals were killed in those sacrifices. Narad Muni is so compassionate. He comes down. He tells, what are you doing? You are killing all these animals. Look, they are waiting for you. When you go back, they are going to pierce you with their iron horns. And we have all the nice pastime Puranjana starting from chapter 25 to chapter 29. In chapter 29, what is happening? King Prachitbari accepts that and he says, those acharyas who engaged me in these fruitive activities, it seemed they did not know the truth. They did not know the ultimate goal of life. You have opened my eyes. Om Agyan Timrandasya. Each and every living entity is born in the darkness. The spiritual master, the one who opens the eyes and gives the anjana of the knowledge. So Narad Muni gave that. He says very clearly that you have given me this knowledge. All those acharyas, they engaged me, they did not know their job. Very faithfully, he was following them till that time. So ignorant person who are always looking after the sense gratification and they consider that is the ultimate goal of life, so they engage in sinful and irreligious activities. Krishna says in 14th chapter also, mudhas, those mudhas, I throw them into the repeated birth and death cycle. So that is the ultimate destination. Other hand, if we want to save ourselves, very simple solution is there. Take shelter of a spiritual master in the parampara. Parampara is very important. Follow nicely and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and be happy. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Gurudev ki, Ityai Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Questions, comments?
So it's very clear that we need to surrender to Krishna in order to get free. But generally when a child misbehaves, a parent, gives some punishment and for, straightening them or educating them so it seems though for every activity that we do, we get severely punished. Why is Krishna so heavy? Why is he punished so heavily for our neglect of following his orders?
He is not heavy, Prabhu. He is very merciful. How is he merciful? Because our association with the mode of ignorance, mode of passion, from the time immemorial, we have become such a stubborn child, I would say. Stubborn child that we don't want to listen to our parents. So he creates this material world. This is the reason so that we come to this world and whatever little bit we want to enjoy. From Krishna's perspective, little bit. From our perspective, so much enjoyment. And we get bored with that, ultimately remember Krishna. So he is merciful, he is not heavy. It may look happy, but what is happening? This punishment which we are seeing, the moment you start surrendering, just start surrendering, the punishment becomes so light that we don't feel even the pain of that. How? If you see in the material platform, Pandavas, they were thrown into miserable condition, but they were surrendering process. They surrendered themselves. With that, all these pains of Agyatvas, pain of 12 years of exile, poisoning Bhima, Lakshagara, all these things, they didn't feel even pain for that. So Krishna is never heavy. He cannot be heavy. He is a very loving father.
You got to read the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the hellish planets.
Yes.
You were mentioning about eating gulab jamuns, you eat one or two and you're really happy. So why don't you stop at that and then forget about getting over disgusted? You said you kept getting more and more, then you get disgusted, but what if you just eat 2 or 3 and then leave it alone? That means you're happy and you had your sweets.
In the 16th chapter which you are talking about, Krishna says, I throw them into the hellish conditions again and again. That is true. But that punishment is for good for us. Those living entities who are so much materially engrossed and so much stubborn, through this punishment, this is also cleaning process basically. With that, the day will come, ultimately we are going to surrender.
Right.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you for the nice in-depth class. You mentioned, I had a few points actually to ask questions on. So you mentioned that sometimes people, they do a lot of tapasya. The purpose is that they want their name on the plaque. So when that happens in devotional life, I just wanted to complete my question, please.
Okay.
So when that happens in devotional life, and along that route, when they do the service because they want to have their name on the plaque, they may be burning a few devotees along the way, if you get my meaning. So it's like eating that gulab jamun and you want to eat more and more because it's very intoxicating doing what the plaque thing, right? So would you like to comment on this?
First thing what you asked, Mataji, in devotional life, this is a very sublime line difference between you may be in devotional service, devotional life, you may be in the material life. There are persons in the in the material world also, they look like material, but really speaking, they could be sadhus. In this devotional life also, there could be a person who is following this path, but what is the goal? If the goal is, I want, and putting aside the peers, no, he doesn't deserve, I deserve. So, me and mine, I and me, aham mameti, till this is there, you may be in any sphere of life, you are ignorant.
So then what happens next?
Next, what happens? In the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives this solution. You will not get your result, ultimate result. You will not achieve it. But you are following the path, but in a wrong way, little bit. So what will happen? Krishna gives you the facility the next life, because then he says, Neha bikram naso asti pratvayana vidyate, 2.40 Bhagavad Gita. Neha bikram naso asti. In this process, whatever progress you have made, it is never lost. So whatever progress you have made, you did not get your result. So what will happen? He will give you another chance in the next life, by give you birth in a place, Suchinam Sri Matam Gehe, where Suchi is there, Sri is there, in those houses. Another facility. But still if you are so stubborn, this happens. People have got so much opulence, but they engage themselves in materialistic life continuously.
That's interesting. I actually thought that you get a birth in another family which is favorable if one was sincerely practicing but they didn't manage to complete. But you're saying if somebody is, so to speak, if I could use the word, insincere in their purpose, yet they are practicing, they also will get such a birth. Okay, that's new for me. That's nice. But what about the burning that's happened along the way? So, this and that. And then what happens with the Vaishnava Aparadha that happens along the way? And what's interesting is that somebody could be doing this, but they think they're doing the right thing because of whatever the imagination is. Do you know what I mean, Prabhu?
I'll just give you the answer in one personal experience. We were in Barsana. Okay? In Barsana, we were just waiting for the altar to open. And then we were standing in the front. And then I saw one boy came. He was a Brajvasi boy. He was chewing pan. And without noticing, he went to one corner and put it there. So I felt very bad. What is this? Boy is doing like that. And I saw the boy went inside to the altar. Okay? One devotee was standing near me. He saw my reactions. He corrected me. And that lessons I learned, Mataji. You know what did he say? Prabhu, can you go into the altar? Of course not. The relationship between Radharani and these Brajvasis, what is there? We are nobody to judge that and think that. Actions which is being taken, it is up to them. For us, let us do our duty. Okay? Our duty is we sincerely follow and follow Guru Sadhu Shastra. If we do that, leave everything to Krishna in the process. Don't think I am going to get this result. If you focus on the result, finish. Then you lose a chance. Just leave the result to Krishna. Don't think of anything else. Do your duty nicely. Follow 2.47 Bhagavad Gita. Then Krishna will arrange everything, Mata. Hare Krishna. Anything else? ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की, श्रीला गुरुदेव की, नित्याय गौ प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल।
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,